Well, we had a number of pilots, just over 20 pilots. Those have all now concluded. The results have been analysed, and a final report on these pilots is due to go to the Beak Trimming Action Group later this month in November. They're going to consider it and then make a recommendation to government. So I know it's been a long drawn out process. These have been very thorough trials, but the industry doesn't have much longer to wait before we announce our conclusions and next steps. Well, what I'd say is there were around 20 pilots. We did have a problem with one of them where actually the flock in the end had to be emergency beak trimmed and depopulated earlier than normal. There was a second one where there had been a few problems, but actually by just changing the regime a bit they stabilised it, and the remaining 18 actually worked quite well. So I don't underestimate the fact that there's a risk here that if we were to go for an overnight ban, you could have problems as people struggle to get used to the new management techniques. And this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm sure the Beak Trimming Action Group will weigh up when they put forward their conclusions to me.
These things are going quite well for us, and we don't see any spikes on the horizon. But we have had them recently, and it could happen.
Well, I think the industry view is quite clear. We're waiting on the BTAG report, which is going. There's a final meeting of BTAG on the 10th of November, only the week after this. The Minister has asked for a unified response from the committee. I feel at the moment, with my practical head on, that we're just not ready yet to contemplate a beak trimming ban. And don't forget that this is all about animal welfare. And I just do not think we will be ready with the birds that we're using at the moment to have a ban in 1st of January next year. If we did have one, I think it would be something of a disaster from an animal welfare point of view, because from time to time we'd get issues like we had with some of the trial flocks that we've had in the Bristol study, and these are just unacceptable. Don't forget, we do this for positive animal welfare reasons. We don't do it just for fun. We're actually doing it to try and prevent a worse problem happening. That's not to say, however, that the issue, even if there isn't a ban next year, it's not to say that the issue is going to go away, because it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, but it'll come back again. At some stage in the future, we, the industry, are going to have to learn how to deal with untrimmed birds. By then, when we do have to do it, I hope that genetically the bird has changed behaviourally so we can do it in an acceptable way. And it's important that we don't lose the interventions that we've put in, such as the in the Lion Code. You know, we've now all producers have to adopt at least 6 of the interventions from Sherwell, from Bristol University, which have been shown to be positive. And of course these things are positive for trimmed birds as well as untrimmed birds. So I think there's a lot of good to come out of it, but I fully believe that we are not ready for a ban in the 1st of January next year.